Back to ABC News Live first. Today's jobs report shows a rise in unemployment except in specialty trades. The economy added 19,000 jobs in construction. Interest in skilled trade jobs is increasing as AI threatens traditional white-collar roles. And now TV host Ty Pennington is highlighting the importance of skilled trades in his YouTube docuseries Skills Jam. The series follows teens competing in trades like carpentry, plumbing, robotics, and more. And in a recent episode, Ty shared how these trades are especially great for many people who have ADHD, and he is opening up about his own story of turning his neurodivergent brain into a superpower.
ADHD can be a curse and a blessing. I had some struggles in my past. They're sort of comical to me now, but those were challenges back in the day. A lot of people look at it as a disability because learning is a lot more difficult. You don't learn at the same speed, and I think that certainly happened to me. But at the same time, I don't really look at it as a disability. You may be slower in one section of your mind, but you're twice as fast in another. A lot of people look at it as a liability or a disability. I think it's sort of a superpower. And trust me on this, I struggled to the point and I lost a lot of confidence. But once I found somebody who believed in me, I realized, wait a second, I've got a gift.
And now Ty is shining a light on how many of the common qualities and traits of a person with ADHD actually make a great match for in-demand trade jobs. And Ty Pennington himself is here to tell us all about it. Ty, so excited to meet you. I told you, I've been a fan of yours since Trading Spaces, and I love hearing you talk about your own experience with ADHD and calling attention to this. So the jobs report that came out today shows construction jobs, skilled jobs. These jobs are out there, they're in demand, and people are showing up to fill these roles. So how does career in the trades, how are you marrying that with your experience with ADHD and your experience working with others with ADHD?
Well, I think the thing is, first of all, there's a huge labor gap. Like, we need people in the skills trades. And I think, look, I'm sort of a perfect example of not only somebody with ADHD that was like, wow, what is the future for this person? But I think a lot of people think of, first thing to think of when you hear ADHD is like distractibility, ooh, shiny object, but I think for a lot of people out there, it can also be a superpower, especially for me. I would definitely not be where I am without it. And I think, look, skilled trades are looking for people that are passionate about what they do. You need sort of something highly energetic, something that you can work with your hands, some immediate gratification, quick deadlines, right? I mean, think about the shows I've been on. The project is done in 3 days or 7 days.
I'm nervous just thinking about it.
And but I think people with ADHD, like, that's exactly what people in the skilled trades are looking for. And so my advice is like, sort of like lean into your ADHD, because you may think it's a disability or a liability, but it could actually be your superpower, because that's exactly what people in the skilled trades are looking for. People that want to work with their hands, that can, and I think that sort of structure helps keep you focused. But at the same time, they want that high energy person, and you're also learning as you're doing. And that's the thing, is you're not paying for school, you're not joining the military, you're joining a trade where you can turn that into a highly successful business. And my advice is check out some of the other mentors and skilled professionals on YouTube, as well as the other social media, because they're perfect examples of people that have turned that disability into an ability of success. And we need people that also are filling that gap, because yes, like, scrolling is great and being, but I think, like, using that as to become a creative, but using a skilled trade in the process, you find people that are building a great business, they're getting great clients, and then they're turning into business owners, not just skilled trades. And I think in the future, that's what you want. And you can get there quickly, because, look, just go into things like not just carpentry, but welding, robotics, and if you've ever seen what electricians and HVAC people make, like,
these are high-paying jobs.
High-paying jobs.
I know, because every time you have to hire someone, you're like, really? Wow.
Right. So I'm a big advocate for, like, lean into what some people may see as your liability or disability, because, like, that could be the power that actually creates a great job for you, and you're working with your hands. hands. Like that's the thing with me, and I still have all my phalanges. So, that's a good thing.
Our viewers know that I've been very public about getting my own ADHD diagnosis just a couple of years ago. And I do think it's a superpower in this job as well. And I thought it was interesting that you say when you were a kid, you felt like you were bouncing off the walls. And yet when you were building something, you felt focused. And I think that's part of what a lot of people don't understand. ADHD isn't a lack of attention. It's sort of it's all or nothing, right? Either you're super focused or you have a really hard time focusing. It's not that you can't focus.
And I think a lot of people are starting to understand that reading text, like in a book, because you're just reading words, the boredom sets in. Next thing you know, you don't even remember 3 paragraphs that you just read. And so I remember even in school when I was going to art school or college, I would start drawing pictures to remember like the history of the treaties and all of that. But like from me drawing, the memory stayed much clearer than the words. And I think that's the same thing that stays with you. You learn from doing. And so I think with the skill of trades, like when you're actually doing something, you're not only learning the craft, but you're also learning the mistakes, what not to do, and you never forget that.
What do you hope people take away from this series?
To believe in themselves. Like I hope people see that, like, look, if I was the kid, honestly, that my parents were like, this kid should have been wearing a helmet. They were afraid for me to mow the lawn because they thought I was going to cut my foot off. And I was like, then I'm leading a team of people to build houses in 7 days. And so I think anybody who may be think that they, are restricted by ADHD, I don't think I would be here without my superpower of ADHD. So lean into it and make a career out of it. It's possible. Dreams can happen. And there's so many successful creatives out there that are doing it. So check them out.
Ty, thank you so much for sharing your story and for this series. Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me.